CIII, TMG.
Earlier, let's go into this. Let's go into this Fury guy. What do you have to say for this guy? What do you have to say on behalf of this guy?
The Gypsy King or the Gypsy
Clown. Gypsy Queen.
Or prima donna or drama queen, Gypsy drama queen, I don't know. He's showing his ass, and all the criticism that people had to about him, his resume not being that great and him not necessarily fighting the best fights, it's starting to come back to bite him. It's coming back to rear its ugly head. I mean, there's always issues between him and AJ in terms of negotiations. And he always used to blame other people, AJ. Obviously, when he made the fight Wilder, and AJ could make the fight Wilder, people looked at AJ kind of funny. But now AJ's made the fight with Usyk, they fought twice, and now Usyk can't make the fight with Fury, so people looking at Fury funny. So I mean, it's very confusing. I mean, you have to really look into the finer details if you can and have the time to. Because at first it was about a split. Usyk accepted the 70-30 split, which shows that Usyk is willing to go above and beyond to win the fight. Because Usyk, bare minimum, especially with him having 3 belts, I know doesn't have the commercial draw that Fury has, and I know Fury's held all the belts at one point in his career, fair point, but Usyk shouldn't have accepted less than 40%. There's no way. But he accepted the 70-30 split, and then he won the rematch clause in there. There's issues about that. There's issues about how they're going to do the split for the rematch.
Being 50-50 or 70-30 to the winner. I can't remember.
Yeah. Apparently, for the rematch, they accepted the same deal that AJ and Usyk got for the rematch. I can't remember what the splits are, but they couldn't accept it. And Fury was like, Usyk was like, he's already conceded so much, he can't concede more, and I don't blame him for that. So Usyk, yeah, don't blame him for that at all. But Fury, I mean, this guy, he's doing a lot, man.
He was saying, sign a deal every day, the 1% down. Guys, sign a deal, now it's something else, it's something this, it's something that. I was always very skeptical when he said April 29th. I was like, that's very quick.
Yeah.
Turnaround. Like, I don't think that's very realistic. I think Usyk's just going to have to fight, Dubois, or who's the mandatory challenger?
He's got a few mandatory challengers. He's got Dubois, and then maybe this guy called Martin Bakoli. I mean, for the WBA. I mean, and he's got that Hergovich and stuff like that.
Will all those people agree for him to just fight one of them?
Yeah, you can't fight one of them at the same time. You have to fight one of them.
And you should still retain these belts.
I mean, it depends.
I hate boxing for all the belts. I just don't get it. Why there's so many? But one day, can you please explain why there's IBF, WBA, WBC? Why are there so many belts? How many is there? 4?
There's 4 recognized world champions. Tanzania, I mean, to more research to why there actually is 14 belts, to be fair. But it's the corruption, the WBA, WBC, IBF, and WBO. I believe WBO was the last one to be recognized. And it's ridiculous, to be honest.
You got one guy holding a belt here. You got guys holding 3 belts there. You got this question undisputed. Just give the man one. Let it be 1 belt, and let everyone fight for the 1 belt. It will make life a lot easier, and it will make people want to fight each other because you will be fighting for the 1 belt. Guys are so busy trying to protect this undefeated record. It just makes boxing crap. Like, boxing's actually at all time. Guys don't want to fight no more. You don't want to make money. You don't want to fight. What are you doing?
That's true.
It's just a disaster, man. Fury, it just makes the situation worse because there's no effort on his part to make the fight happen. He just wants to put in conditions. He wants him to bow down he wants Usyk to bow down at his feet, and then obviously make Usyk fall in a different way. I guess in terms of what Fury's trying to do, Fury's trying to make Usyk fight Dubois or Bakoli look bad again in that fight, and then or even lose to them, and he'd be like, "Oh yeah, I told you about that. I told you he's not that good. I told you that," and then Fury can just get away with that. That's basically what his reasoning is. I see Fury just fighting. I don't know who's gonna fight next, but he'll be just a has-been, another tune-up fight. But fair enough for Fury. He fought Chisora and White last year?
Yes.
The Chisora fight was an absolute farce.
The White fight was fast as well. I mean, oh boy.
But White, at least there was some vengeance. Like, people were actually really bigging up White. I don't know what happened there.
But it's
The title offences are absolutely shocking, to be fair.
yeah, like touch on the belts there to help battle corruption, and then there's the 4 governing bodies. And then obviously boxing doesn't have that single one entity that governs the sport, and that's why there's been division and you know, back and forth to and fro, and that's why they've been allowed for multiple belts to come in. So yeah, it's crazy.
Shocking. He fought White last year, 23rd of April. And then he fought Chisora, which is arguably the worst thing that ever happened to boxing. And what's he going to do now? How many times has he fought Chisora? Is it 3 times now?
3 now.
Why did he need to do that?
I mean, still a lot of questionable things, to be honest. I believe he's a WBC holder, Fury. Eventually he's gonna...
No, so he's not fighting, so we'll vacate that belt soon.
I mean...
I don't even know what AJ's going to do. What's AJ doing? He can't... Usyk for the 3rd time?
Nah.
I know.
Usyk's not, it's just a bad matchup for him.
It has to be Fury for him. Or just a super fight with Wilder, just, you know, like a bit like how Lennox fought Tyson to the end of his career.
Yeah, just get that, man. Get the money where you can, put a show on for the fans, and go from there, really and truthfully. That's what they should do. That's what they ought to do.
Yeah, because as much as, you know, Joshua stock is at the lowest right now, it could be after 2 consecutive losses, he's still a draw. He's probably the biggest draw in boxing. I think maybe even bigger than Fury. He was that at one point, like, that's the guy that got everyone off their seats. Like, I don't think there's ever a time. Do you remember that time in Union when he fought Klitschko? I think that's probably the biggest fight I've been around. I've been able to see, like, the public, like, interest. Pacquiao, obviously, Mayweather. I wasn't much of a boxing fan then, but obviously I did watch the fight, but not as much involved. But AJ made a lot of people, you know, want to understand boxing, get into it.
He did. He may not be the biggest draw right now. It's probably Canelo. If not Canelo, Tank's coming up now.
You think Tank's as big a draw as Canelo?
Right now, I mean, it's just if he beats Ryan Garcia.
You think Tank?
In America, Tank has a big following. And he's filling out arenas consistently. So
Tank has. I didn't know that Tank had that big a following.
Yeah, I mean, he fought in. Let me get his box record. He fought somewhere, one big arena.
He fought in Madison Square Garden, which is like 20k. I always thought Madison Square Garden was like 80k or something like that.
Nah,
it's like 20k.
It's a prestigious.
It is prestigious.
He fought in T-Mobile Arena, which is like 15.
It's like Miami.
No, it's Vegas. He fought he's fighting in T-Mobile Arena now against Ryan Garcia. He fought in Washington, DC Capital One Arena. Let's head to Louise. He fought in the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. He fought in Staples Center as a Chris before. Fought State Farm Arena, Atlanta. He's done well. He's fighting all the states, the major states. Well, you got DC, you've got New York, you got California, you got Georgia. He's fighting on all the major cities. He fought in San Antonio against Leo Santa Cruz. Baltimore. Yeah, I mean,
he's the most credible opponent anyway.
That's his issue. He's because on his the guys on his name on his resume, the names on his list. There's always like an asterisk with them after they pass the best, or they're coming up in weight, or they're unknown. I mean, if you look, there's no like stand out. That's why he needs the likes of Ryan Garcia, Haney, Shakur.
Ryan Garcia is a very gifted boxer, to be honest.
I think he beats him.
He's a very gifted boxer.
He's pretty talented, but I think Tank beats him, to be honest.
Yeah, man. It'd be good to just get the fight out in the first place. Maybe people will stop running scared.
Since Pedraza was undefeated, and Liam Walsh, he fought in UK. I didn't even know that. Tank.
How long ago was that?
2017. Fought Liam Walsh.
6 years ago. Yeah, I can't believe he came here.
For the cool box arena. Happy Wick. Wow. He knocked him out. What did he knock him out?
It's because Gervonta's a knockout artist, isn't it? I mean, what's his knockout percentage? Has he ever gone the distance?
Yeah, he has it. It was first round. Actually, feel a little sleepy.
I actually watched. I was rewatched. You know, I was just randomly. I was watching Khan versus Crawford.
Why?
Crawford. I was just sometimes I just wanted. After the boxing episode, not out for you guys at the moment, but after I watched that, I was just interested. I was just researching certain dons. Crawford, man, that's an elite boxer. Switch can hit as hard on his left from it as his right. Is a switch hitter, is it?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just want him to fight Spence, but that might never happen. Is he when? Are Crawford and Spence fighting anyone else in the meantime? What's
Spence is supposed to be fighting Keith Thurman. Yeah,
Keith Thurman's an embarrassing guy.
Let's fight Keith Thurman soon. I'm not sure if it's been officially announced. Sorry, Tank's knockout percentage. Guess what it is?
85%?
A bit high.
Too high.
A bit higher. A bit higher.
Oh wow, it's higher than 85. 87?
Higher.
90?
Higher.
92?
Yes, 92.86.
How many fights?
28 fights. How many knockouts is that?
You're looking at what? Is that 20? You're looking at 25? 26? 25?
26.
Okay.
His knockout streak got snapped by Isaac Cruz, which was 3 fights ago, 2021, end of 21.
I think Isaac Cruz, didn't he fight Haney? Did he fight Haney?
No, he hasn't fought any. Isaac Cruz is a bit unknown. He fought Gamboa. This guy Gamboa, we found anybody. Gamboa's gone downhill, man. That's so bad.
It happens, man.
Says he's 41. Because he fought Crawford in his prime. Gamboa fought Crawford. When he fought Crawford? Crawford 2014, almost 10 years ago. That's when he was in his prime.
Spence and Crawford, they're welterweight. Is it welterweight?
Yeah.
And then these men are Gervonta's lightweight, isn't it? Is it lightweight?
Gervonta is lightweight, 135.
Already got up to 140.
I believe this fight is it at 140 with Tank? Or might be 135 to be honest. I think 135 with them guys there.
And the Haney Loma, the guy that's moved, the one that beat Loma that's moved up. What's his name? He lost to the Australian guy. He lost to Combosis. What's his name?
Tiafimo.
Tiafimo. He's moved up, isn't he? Tiafimo moved up.
Yeah, they're fighting on 140 now.
Tiafimo has been he's moved up weight class. He's been taking some fights to get him in the. Not been as impressive as he's gone up the weight though. Maybe he struggled. He struggled in his last fight actually. I just checked. I remember guys were saying he did struggle. He did well against. To be fair, he's got a very credible win. He did beat Lomachenko. Lomachenko came up to the fight way too late. He beat Sandor Martin, split decision. I'm not as impressive as he was. I think this is up in weight, isn't it? But Sandor Martin's 40-3. Okay.
They're not too bad.
Oh, it's a shame. Happens. What fight are you most excited about that's coming up? Because it seems like April, May, a lot of fights coming up. There's a fight this weekend, isn't it? Plant versus
Benavides.
The Benavides guys are really kind of tipping Benavides.
Interesting fight. I don't know. I mean, people are tipping Benavides, but I won't be surprised if Plant wins that fight. I'm almost up to watch that fight.
Plant is a defensive kind of fighter.
He's skilled. Outside jab, stick and move, fluid, light on his feet. That would be a good fight. And there's bad blood. It seems like it's pure bad blood between the camps and stuff. I don't know if they've staged with that, but it appears to be pure. It tells like that, right? I want to do the research on that. The build up to the fight. I want to not research. I want to keep an eye on the build up to the fight from now, and the weigh-ins and stuff. So yeah, man, it's a good fight.
It's good that they're getting some of those guys that are below. Everyone wants to fight Canelo, but you got to do something in the meantime. And then what happened to Charlo? Which Charlo brother is not just injured? Was supposed to fight Tizu or something like that. Is it Jamel? I don't know.
I was getting mixed up with those guys, to be honest.
Hey man, boxing. Some people think boxing's in a terrible state. What would your opinion be on the state of boxing in general?
Very disappointing. Underwhelming. A letdown.
Well, it's been for generations and generations where people haven't fought people at the right time, or you would say, at supposed peaks.
It was a lot more frequent in the last 10 years, and as we discussed in that episode, that's the downside of Floyd Mayweather, which is not obviously what intended. Similar, I believe I compared it to Michael Jordan. The downside to Michael Jordan is that a lot of people copied his style. A lot of people have copied Floyd Mayweather's style, but they're not as good to do it. Not as like in and out of the ring. They can't promote as well. They ain't got the skills. They ain't as accomplished. And to do what Floyd Mayweather did, like I said in the episode as well, they forgot that in the first half of Floyd Mayweather's career, when it was Pretty Boy Floyd, he was fighting guys. He was knocking guys out. He was taking lesser money. He was the B-side. Like when he fought Oscar, that's when he went from that's when he fully transformed from Pretty Boy to Money Mayweather. It was the B-side. He accepted the B-side. I think that was the last fight really where he accepted the B-side. And people don't want to do that. He took the risk. Fought Oscar at 154. When Oscar fought Pacquiao, he was drained at 147. All this sort of stuff. I mean, Floyd took that risk. And but the bad side of it is that when he became the shot caller and he even had to bow to his demands, people are only really seeing that side of Floyd, and the young generation are only really emulating that side of Floyd. They're not. And Floyd, when you get to a certain level, yeah, you can afford to give out the demands because you're the shot caller. You built yourself up. You're accomplished. Which is key word being accomplishments. These young guys didn't accomplish. Like Floyd was like what, a 4-weight world champion, pound for pound #1. He was pound for pound #1 for ages. He was pound for pound #1 when Roy Jones Jr. started to fall off, which was like in the mid to early 2000s. Like he was basically been pound for pound #1 for time. These guys ain't pound for pound #1. I mean, Crawford, I guess, he's touch and go. I mean, Crawford and Spence, the only guys, in my opinion, that they accomplish and they can kind of, it's
But
annoying.
it's affecting the fight between them.
It's affecting the fight between them, but I can understand it to the extent because they're both at the top of the tree, not just in their weight, but in the whole boxing lexicon, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Fury and AJ, yes, commercially they're there, but not really.
Commercially, commercially. If Fury and AJ were fighting at the same time as Spencer Paul, what are more people more likely to watch?
Well, I mean, like commercially they're there in terms of that they have the sway, but in terms of actually accomplishment in boxing, comparatively speaking, they're not as accomplished as. Obviously a bit harder because they're different weights. I mean, before AJ lost to Ruiz, then yeah, if AJ's still undefeated, then fair enough.
What boxing is the pinnacle of the boxing, they say. That's the highest level.
They say what?
That's the highest level of heavyweight boxing. When heavyweight boxing is good, boxing is in a good state.
No, heavyweight boxing is like is the division that moves the needle because it's basically for the casual fans, and the casual fans dictate how important your sport is. And the casual fan, yeah, they'll flock to heavyweights, the biggest men, want knockouts, easy success, and it's more entertaining to look at. Big people knocking each other out. One punch can really change the
no one really appreciates the ballet of boxing, to be fair.
Yeah, the skills and the technicalities is what you said, the low weight divisions, and obviously, but there's like 3 blue ribbon or is it blue check mark? Is it what's the word?
It's blue ribbon, I would say.
Or cornerstone divisions.
Yes, yeah.
There's blue chip. Sorry, that's the word. Yeah. There's obviously heavyweight throughout the history of boxing. There's welterweight, and I believe there's also middleweight. Those are the 3.
Welterweight, that's
you got guys like Floyd, Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard, Middleweight, you've had Leonard, Sugar Robinson,
Roy Jones.
Oscar.
Was it the Four Kings?
The Four Kings all fought middleweight. Obviously heavyweight, Ali Tyson, Lennox, Joe Lewis. There's a lot of guys.
And cruiserweight is only recently a new. It's a new division.
Newish, yeah. That gets kind of bypassed. All the other divisions, they're more supporting acts, but those are the three top tier.
Because think about it, if you would look at a cruiserweight, who's the cruiserweight champion? You got a Cody, yes.
If the cruiserweight division not given that much respect, it's kind of sad.
It's a new belt. It's only a recently created weight, isn't it?
Now they got that bridgeweight division, I believe, in the WBC.
Yeah, and someone's just recently fought for it. Who was it? They were fighting just before Jake Paul and Tyson Fury's little brother.
I don't recall, but yeah.
They fought before that, and then you have super middleweight. Then you have middleweight. Then what's on the middleweight? Weight just below middleweight. Then you got lightweight. Then you got.
So you have super middleweight, super welterweight, or light middleweight 154, and then you have welterweight 147, 140 super lightweight or light welterweight. Then you have lightweight 135. I believe you have super feather 130. Then 126 you have featherweight, and after that I can't remember the names. I think it might be bantamweight, to be fair.
Bantamweight. I'm not trying to see that.
That's the one that Inoue boxes at.
And anyway, the guy that they say is one of the greatest boxers.
He's up there, yeah. Pound elite.
Didn't he find someone? Who was he
I was
fighting?
supposed to find Fulton, but that he pulled out because he's injured.
But at least anyway, fights is very active. Like he fights often. Like I see his name quite often. So at least you're out there.